Okay, tip-off just happened.
They're watching it. They can see.
The
quality is good now.
Willie hit a 3 tonight. Hasn't made one in the entire tournament. Driving in for a 2 and gets a generous roll off the rim for an opening basket.
Already you see Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, as is often the case, defending the opponent's point guard. Because of his versatility, his length, his quickness, John Calipari likes to put him at the point of attack defensively.
Talking about two of the best defensive teams, if not the two best, all year long. And there is block number 1 for Whitney.
Well, 3 more of these, and according to Kenny Smith, Kansas is going to win. He said Whitney needs 4, and I think there's no doubt his defensive presence in the middle is the key to this team and what they've done to get this far.
Just 7 on the shot clock. He had 7 blocks Saturday. That's an air ball, and Whitney chases it down. The 7 blocks by Whitney, an NCAA national semifinal game record. And he had 10 blocks in an early tournament win against NC State. Rutherford gets the baseline and missed a short shot. Made a beautiful move, couldn't finish.
Davis got over there to bother him again. This is where Kentucky is lethal. Hard foul by Jeff Whitney. And a tough call from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And you can hear pain and frustration.
And clutching his right shoulder. And teammates come over to pull him back out.
And John Calipari is asking the officials if they're going to take a look at a potential flagrant 1. I think it was Elijah Johnson.
It was Steve. Boy, he is slump-shouldered here. His Kidd-Gilchrist.
I think as he was going up to try to get that layup, he got his shoulder wrenched, got it pulled back there, Jim. I thought it was a clean attempt by Elijah Johnson to get to the ball. It was an awkward spill. I think it's just a common foul. And glad to see that Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is up and seems to be okay.
Yeah, just steps up and rips the nets with his first.
Sorry, that was, we have this propped up on a chair, not really good quality. Here, as you can see.
Jonathan Gilchrist
and Robinson clears it for Kansas.
We'll have to keep an eye on Gilchrist. He's clearly favoring that arm. You can see right there as he defends Taylor. Terrence Jones starts out on Thomas Robinson. That's a little deep to allow him to catch it.
Put back. They say tie up, and it's going to Kentucky. So before the basket, they said held ball long enough.
Deep post position here for Robinson. Denial by Terrence Jones. We talk about the ability of Anthony Davis to deny shots, and he's the nation's best. But Terrence Jones is an excellent shot blocker as well. And Robinson's going to accept some shot blocks. There's going to be some offensive rebounding possibilities if he goes down there anyway.
And that shot drops for Jones.
Beautiful move in there, Jimmy. Went to his right hand and got it up and down.
Johnson with a 3. That's perfect.
You know, guys, last week against North Carolina, I thought Kansas came out the loosest they have all tournament. You think about the Jayhawk program, the burden they have on their shoulders, all the NCAA tournament losses early on, Northern Iowa, Bucknell, Bradley, last year VCU. I think they relish the role of, for once, being the underdog here tonight. It's nice to have the script flipped. That's for sure.
Davis will take his first shot, and it rattles out. And you heard Bill Self at that moment in the locker room saying, hey, all the pressure's on them. And we haven't even played our best game in the tournament yet. Robinson off on the jumper. Pulled down by Davis. Kentucky sprinting ahead. Teague, no one cuts him off. He takes it all the way to the hole.
Young fella, he has been superb all tournament long, picking his spots as to when to go and when to hold it. Excellent job using that strength to get all the way to the rim, rack to rack.
He did that the first 2 possessions of the Louisville game on Saturday, but didn't score in the second half. Rutherford too high with that, and it's reaching in on Robinson.
And that's a bad foul. I mean, he had no chance in that rebound. We saw that the other night. against Ohio State. He picked up that cheap one early on. I think Robinson has a tendency to be so excited that he has to settle himself down. But that's big because Kansas very thin on that front line.
I agree, and sometimes you have to idle yourself down just enough. There's a real fine line between being fully engaged, emotional, and intent, and not going too far with that.
As Teague hitting the jumper. So he scores on a coast-to-coast layup and then shows an outside game. Don't forget Robinson also fouled out only 2 games this year, but one of them was that matchup against Kentucky back in November. Withy. They leave him alone and go inside, and there is Robinson. Pass to the wing, and Lamb with a 3. No. Tapped out, Davis. Other side, lost the handle. Off the floor. Robinson's there. This time the arrow will go back to Kansas.
Good activity here coming up, trying to get this loose ball. And ultimately, Kansas will retain possession.
Kansas will send Robinson to the bench as we're moving in on that under 16 timeout. Give him a few extra seconds of a breather here. Kevin Young comes in for him, number 40.
Jones goes to the bench. Calipari matching up small for small with Young on the floor. He will go with Miller to match up. So very small lineups for both clubs here.
And Kid Gilchrist, by the way, been watching him the last couple of trips. He appears to be just fine after that early spill. Taylor floats, and that is denied. Trying to go to Withy. Davis saw it coming. Here's Teague. Put back Kid Gilchrist. Yes, indeed, he's fine. Racing up ahead, it's Taylor. Blocked. That time it's Davis. And Kentucky again. All the way down with Lamb for 2 more. Furious pace here as Johnson goes outside. Withy. That's Miller who's defending.
Guys, Kansas has to figure out the tempo with which they need to play. They've got to run, but they have to do so at the right time. This can't be a track meet or they have no chance.
They've had to go now a little more than a minute without Robinson on the floor. Here's Taylor's jumper, and it hits the dead spot on the back of the rim, and he hits a jump shot.
Over the outstretched arm of Anthony Davis there, Jim. That'll slow things up a tad. Actually, both teams a little spent. Usually teams are prepared to go a hard 4.5 minutes without a break.
Lamb hits the 2-point shot. Ron Lamb led them in the game against Kansas with 17 points. It was a 10-point victory by the Wildcats in New York.
Got to really be ready to block out Kevin Young on the board. We'll get a foul there and a break in the action finally.
Foul on Miller. A little block party going on here in New Orleans at the start. Kentucky up 4.
Hey Eddie, where's she going now? Looks